Hi, and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the Gnome Train.
Woo! Chugga, 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 woo!
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. I promise you, they do talk about the World of Warcraft. They just go off the rails sometimes.
Well, I'm Frazley, and I am joined by Allie of Dungeon Fables, All Things Azeroth, and Blizzmates.
Hello!
And we've got Xortz of his streams, which include a Frazley F-bomb sounder, and WoW challenges.
Heyo.
Two people I always love talking to. I'm so glad to finally have them together.
Fine.
We've been talking about this for months.
We have. It's very true.
Like me and Allie's like, dude, we got to get on FrazlCast. We got to do that. We got to do it. We got to do it. And here we are.
It's amazing how fast time goes. Like, I remember Ian last week said he had it on his calendar. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, it's October already. I think on this episode, we're going to catch up on some news topics that I thought were interesting. The Blizzard news is kind of dried up on like the big stuff, but there's some small stories there. And Alessandra sent in some questions for us to speculate on WoW mobile titles. But before we get into that, Epicinsanity, what time is it?
It's time to go around the table.
Great idea. So what have you been up to recently? We will start with Allie.
Hello.
Because you're first on the list too.
I am. That's
Alphabetical
true.
order.
Yeah.
Doing raiding like normal. My little ragtag group of guildies is 3 of 8 on heroic.
Nice.
Eternal, so I'm pretty proud of them. And then the Rebel Chicken Coalition is also 3 of 8, so at some point I'll get a 4th, maybe. I got my neck to 65, so not as high as I wanted to be, but I'm getting there. I've been doing some classic with my Dwarf Rogue, and I got a chance to run Dead Mines with some friends, and had a lot of fun. We're not talking about that quite yet, though. But what I can say is that I did loot a green wing macaw off of one of the pirates, which was my first pet in Classic. It's really fitting that I got a parrot off of a pirate for my first pet.
Yeah, and especially Dead Minds was your first episode of Dungeon Fables, wasn't it?
Yeah, I meant to go back and listen to that episode.
It's a giant circle of continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant to go back and listen to that episode before we did Dead Mines, and then I chickened out because my first episode is trash. So, but either way, it was still a lot of fun.
I wouldn't say it's trash, but it's always hard to go back and listen to your own stuff because, one, you're not used to the sound of your own voice on a recording. Two, as content creators, we tend to be extremely critical of our own work, even when it's
So
perfectly fine.
Yes.
Exactly. Like, everyone hates their first few episodes. It's just, the sound quality's not there yet, your editing skills are not quite there yet, usually. And so no one likes their first episode.
saved all the raw and finished episodes from when I was podcasting on my Google Drive. And just on a whim, a couple weeks ago, I went back and listened to them, and I was absolutely horrified by the bullshit that was coming out of my mouth. Of course, it probably didn't help I wasn't sober when recording them.
Wait, there's bullshit coming out of your mouth?
Always.
Never.
I don't know what the fuck you mean, Xortz.
Oh,
Two for
well
two,
done,
baby!
Frazley.
That's
Well
2 appearances in a
done.
row, he's dropped the F-bomb.
And then Brandon in the next room just heard it and was like, whoa. That was awesome. Well done.
And I didn't even have to prompt it. Either
No.
time. First time it
I
was Lady Emma's fault.
See, I figured, like, as the episode went on, like, you would push that button enough just to get him to do it, and then there you go.
No, it's already happened, and I wasn't even responsible for it. So that box is checked off. I'm still working on Turnwinkle though. One day I will get him to drop an F-bomb on air in some way, shape, or form.
I did some of the 8.3 PTR.
How was that?
Oh, it's so good. So I did one of the assaults, and I did the one over in the Vale, and it feels like your basic, invasion, get 100% to, stop it, fight the bad dude. It feels pretty typical. It took a long time, so we'll see if that changes. Because right now, you only get 1% per mob you kill. So again, just PTR, so that could change.
Yeah.
But I did go do the horrific visions, which is really cool. Like, the art and ambiance and the music and just the feel of it with the creepy old god whispers, like, Blizzard knocked it out of the park. Like, it is creepy and awesome, and I love it.
So even with like the people have said it feels like reused content, they did a good job at making it feel different.
I think so. I mean, it does feel like the Withered training.
Okay.
It does. I'm not gonna lie. But it is still really challenging. Like, so in the PTR, they want people to test their stuff. So you can already get the legendary cloak. You can already upgrade it all the way that you can potentially even upgrade it. You can, do all that stuff. So you can get in there and really just dig in. And it was still challenging. Now, granted, my neck is only at, 65 versus, 80 or whatever the cap is going to be. But it was still challenging. It feels different also because it's a different location. It's Orgrimmar or Stormwind, which I was able to do both. I don't know if it's because it's PTR or if we're going to be able to do both because, the factions are at peace now.
Yeah, I'm going to speculate that they did that for PTR testing because it would feel a little weird to be trying to save Orgrimmar.
I mean, maybe. I mean, we're buddies now. We're all going to fight the old gods. So
that is true.
I don't know. We'll see. It could just be testing because a lot of the stuff I saw was just because of testing. But, because it's a different location. You're not in a dank cave like you were for Withered training. Like, you're not underground. Like, you were in the city that you've spent so much time in, but now it looks completely different. And they also tell a little bit of a story. And no spoilers. Like, I won't mention it here, but, like, different NPCs and different things happen. Like, it's all technically alternate reality because it's just for the vision. It's really cool. And I like it a lot. And plus, it's nice that it's going to be, you can go in solo, like with a training, or you can bring your friends, which I think was a really smart move.
Did you at all roll a Mechanome?
No, not yet. I didn't actually look to see, like, honestly, my first thing was the horrific visions because I am so freaking excited for them. I was like, I made a beeline for that. I did not look to see if I could roll Mechanomes. I can test it though and report back if you would like.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Since Xortz is here and Stone's in chat now, I killed off my second Iron Man toon.
Aww.
Only your second?
Yeah, it's only my second. Now, I haven't been playing as hardcore as, some other people, obviously. But I've decided that podcasting is bad luck for me. Because the first time I killed a toon, it was a few days before I guested on WoW challenges. And I was all like, I'm going to level up my toon so I can, have a higher level when I go report on WoW challenges. And then she died.
That's actually pretty typical for a lot of first-time guests. So you're not, doing anything wrong.
No, yeah. And so I was working on this one. She made it to level 31. I had a couple of quests to turn in. I knew I was getting tired. So I was being smart and I was going to log before I got too tired and, die. But that also means I got a little lazy. And instead of killing my way to my turn-in locations, I just ran through it and got dazed and knocked off and died pretty quickly. So I've decided that no, it was not neutral crabs this time.
I do have a question for you on that. Was the turn-in location somewhere where you could have hearthed to?
No.
Okay.
No. I did not set it up that way.
All right.
So that would have been the smart thing. No.
Yeah. Always change your Hearthstone at quest hubs. Always.
Yeah, that's very true. So I res and turned in the 2 quests and was able to confirm that those 2 quests would have gotten me to 32. And so then I equipped all the transmogs I could that were in my bags and then deleted her. So that happened. No, it was not a neutral deer, Capo.
2 deaths. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
1 year
and I got past Frazley.
1 year,
so.
I think was it last year or the year before, I racked up about 27.
Well, yeah, but that's your main focus in game, right? Is the challenges. And I just dabble in them.
You weren't podcasting while doing the iron like I was one time podcasting. Now, I wasn't intentionally podcasting, but a good friend came in and they were doing a WoW episode for their podcast. And I was in voice chat, which you should never do when you're streaming. Don't be in voice chat unless you're on a team. And I got distracted.
See, I wasn't podcasting when I did it. It's just I was gearing up to do a podcast and report that my Iron Man toon is this level. So, and I figured because Xortz was going to be here tonight, I'm like, let's go just level up a little bit. Nope, she died.
Oh, yeah.
Sad. So I'll do another one. I do want to level a horde to 120, my alt. But then after I do that, I'll probably start another toon. I'll get there eventually.
So, I mean, you're getting close to me. I'm up to 5 right now.
Yes, but what's your highest level one?
26, I think. So you beat me on levels. But no, Xortz, I remember the stream where you said that I would give up Iron Man's. I'm not giving up Iron Man, Xortz. I'm just taking my time to get there.
Mm-hmm. You say so there, buckaroo.
Buckaroo. That's so great.
No, I mean, don't give me any shit. Come on.
Wow.
That's pretty much my purpose on this world, is to give people shit.
Okay, that's good then.
Really not good at much else.
We're not even trying and he's swearing. We're not even trying and he's swearing.
I know.
What the hell?
And I can't even be blamed for this because I didn't start it.
No, and I didn't either.
I promise I will not swear on the next thing that's on your list.
Maybe.
We'll see.
No, you won't. So I get to be part of Pod Before the Con again with some fantastic people. And then there's some weird moderator, and that's going to be a thing.
Who is that? You mean Terwinkle's moderating, or is it Reserves
We're going to
moderating?
moderate his way out of a paper bag.
So yes, Pod Before the Con. I'm excited for that. I'm nervous, but I get nervous about everything. But I'm excited
nervous too. I'm actually not nervous for Pod Before the Con. I'm nervous for BlizzCon because I will no longer have this screen and this webcam between me and the people I'm meeting. So a little nervous, not as much as I used to be. Like I've kind of calmed down a little bit, but as we get closer, I'm starting to get a little nervous again. But I'm really excited, and I can't wait.
I've heard that Friday the 13th is a fun game, and if you move it around to be Friday the 31st, that is almost the date that Come Before the Storm's happening. So see, I'm failing at this.
You're trying so hard.
And I'm definitely failing at the segue, the same way that I think I heard somebody's failing at a game. Right, Xortz?
Yeah. So, last month at work was ironically Employee Appreciation Month. I won a PS4 there. So I was like, all right, cool. Free PS4, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I got some friends outside a while that play Friday the 13th. I've been playing with them, learning how to play the game, and discovered that if I was actually to go to Camp Crystal Lake, I would die in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Now, why? Would it be because you had sex? Would it be because you went upstairs?
Probably because I had consumed alcohol, which is one of the rules.
Okay, that's another one. Yep.
If we all remember Scream, there are rules.
There are rules.
There are rules.
Yes.
There we go. So I've been failing at that. Up your stone. And,
So, audio listeners, Stone said that Zork does not have sex.
for the past 2 weeks, I've been co-hosting the WoW Challenges podcast. Had the wonderful, wonderful honor and pleasure of talking with Belle the first week.
Nice.
She talked about what was going to be happening at DitchCon. And Seraphis from the Sundering talking about Con Before the Storm as a whole.
They were good episodes.
Those were very, very entertaining shows because all the rules were out the window.
Oh, yeah. Those two are hilarious.
Not really doing a whole lot of Blizzard stuff these days. I've really kind of just very meh with WoW as a whole right now. And I this started kind of back in Legion, whereas like just the current content is just not grabbing me. I got my main up to 111, and he's been sitting there ever since. And that was shortly after launch. And I'll jump in, and I'll do a couple quests, and I'm just like, no, I'm not feeling it. So then, with Classic rolling out, I jumped into that, and same thing. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like in a malaise when it comes to Warcraft right now. The only thing I did really enjoy was the cinematic with Sylvanas and Sarfang, and watching Sylvanas get down with her badass self. And I am loving every minute of it, and all the Sylvanas fanboys out there that are, crying their little emo tears that somehow Blizzard has ruined the character, this is not who she truly is. You need to all go back to Warcraft 3 and relearn your damn lore.
Yeah.
This is exactly who she's been ever since Arthas killed her. She is not sane. It is not an old god influence, at least I don't believe so. And I believe we're going to see Sylvanas pretty much just be like, yo, Forsaken, get your asses over here. We're going down with Plan A that we've been working on for 15 years, and we're killing everyone. Because if I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. What has been the motto of the Forsaken since day one? Not death to the Alliance, not death to the Scourge, not death to Scarlet Crusade, not death to Lordaeron, death to the living. That means all of them.
And now she's forsaken by the Forsaken.
Not entirely. They are more loyal to her than they are to the Horde. I guarantee it. She's the one who fucking got the shit together with them after Arthas pieced out to Northrend. The only reason they joined the Horde was out of necessity. Because they had no one backing them up on that part of the world.
I could see that, yeah. And they've been turned on by the humans.
Yep. It's time for Blizz to shake things up. Third faction, Forsaken faction.
Oh, for sure.
To hell with the Horde and the Alliance. I'm done with them.
I don't know why I was thinking this. I can see at BlizzCon something's going to happen with, like, there was that one year where we had all of the characters of people that were at BlizzCon on that map. What if whatever happens, we see every pass holder there and they have all their stuff together? I mean, just like as undead or something.
The Horde versus Alliance thing, it's been going on all the way back to the RTS games. It's played out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because every expansion for the last 3 or 4 has been the same thing. Oh, well, the Horde and Alliance are at each other's throats again. We don't really know why, but, they are. There's, I think, Thrall sneezed at Greymane, and now he's got the flu, and they're fighting a war over that. But also, we got this third-party big bad that you're going to have to all work together against. Boring.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. And actually, Belle brought up an interesting thing when she was on WoW Challenges. What if, at the end of this expansion, we lose? What if we don't beat the big bad? What if the old gods win? What happens to us then? Hey, the Draenei got some spaceships. Maybe we become refugees. That's Belle's theory, and I love it.
I do too. It turns the story on its head in a way.
Yeah.
It's not the same old tired, good always wins.
I don't know if that will happen at the end of this expansion. Maybe next expansion. I'm really curious. I feel like there's just so many different ways it could go. My running theory is that we will all die, probably, and be part of her undead army against the old gods. Ilaria says something in 825 that was, I think, foreshadowing, and she was saying basically, she has the biggest army, and we might need her, so let's not kill her.
But I mean, I like having skin and stuff like that.
It's overrated.
They can keep following the cookie cutter Horde versus Alliance with third party big bad, Horde versus third party blah that they've been doing since Burning Crusade. Or they can just say, you know what, let's really shake things up. And yes, they tried to shake things up with Kata, and Stone's right in chat. It didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. But goddamn, did it make for some good storytelling.
Oh yeah, people were asking for a new world, and I could see the old world of Azeroth here. Then it'd be kind of interesting if they could actually do 2 engines. You go to your old content here, then the database works between the 2 engines, and it would be interesting to go to a new planet with like graphics out the wazoo.
I mean, what happens? I mean, we have a Titan sitting in the parent planet. What if Azeroth finally wakes up? What happens to us?
I hope she does. I want to know what's going on.
Does the planet break apart and shiny Titan being appear? Does the planet remain inhabitable? There's a lot of variables here that your average player isn't thinking about.
Yeah.
What happens if we lose this one? I mean, these are freaking gods we're fighting.
Yeah.
You can't kill them.
No.
They're freaking gods. Oh, but we killed Cthulhu. No, we killed an avatar Cthulhu. Cthulhu's still alive, kids. Newsflash. Spoiler alert. Breaking news. We're screwed.
I think we're going to see him next expansion.
I could definitely see that. BlizzCon's going to be an interesting experience.
I'm just saying, that's what I would like to see. Is it probably going to happen? No. But I like the thought of it.
Yeah.
It goes so many different ways at this point, which is really exciting, honestly. I'm so excited to see what they do with this.
Me too. And
one thing I wish they would just do is stop with the allied race rep grind BS and just let us have them.
Yeah.
And I'm a little cheesed off that they're putting the Volpira in before my freaking Murlocs. Where are my Murlocs?
They're all just fishing and stuff like that and sitting by the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away.
I see what you did there. And I approve of this.
Yeah.
Angry Stone does not approve of it, but I approve.
I love that Stone does not approve it meme.
Thank you, Seraphis, for that picture.
Yes. I am really excited to see what's going to happen at BlizzCon, and I'm speechless. I've been like all week thinking it's a dream, but thanks to the community and the community's outpouring, I'm going to BlizzCon. I did not expect it at all. First, before I get into the story, I just need to thank Tosh Mifune, Professor Talif, Leo Wild, Nick, Ali, Amanda, Tom, Reservis, Epicinsanity, Sai, Warcraft Stats, Gia, Saradan, Penguin Gold, Valicia, Ams, Sickle Thermoplug, which is an interesting one, Vase Prob, Navix, Sir Onion Knight, Stacy, Sinja, Red Pally Jill, Astrid, Carl's Son, and Ironbane. All of you put in kind words for me this week, and I just have to say, I was not asking for people to put in kind words, and seeing that as a creator, that just really gave me a boost in wanting to work on the episode and what I do. So, I mean, thank you, everyone. Wow. So there was a contest where Christy Gold was giving away a BlizzCon ticket, and Tosh Mifune put up my name for that ticket, and then all of a sudden people just started putting my name in for that. And then on Sunday, Crushinator DM'd me and got me a ticket to BlizzCon. So now, because of that, 2 people are going to BlizzCon. I'm going on the ticket Crushinator gave, and Christy's sitting with on the BlizzCon. So, I mean, thank you, community. And again, just the words, they overwhelm me. I'm speechless, and this is going to be an unforgettable year. See, I don't have words for it.
You're getting all choked up.
Yeah. Wow.
It's getting a bit verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll give you a topic. Roosevelt's New Deal was neither new nor deal. Discuss.
Well, I mean, maybe kids need to learn about history. You know, when I was playing WoW this week, in between just like the feelings of both, am I dreaming and pinching myself and over just being real, Scroll Sage Snola told me twice that I'd make a great teacher. During the stream, Reservist told me, tell her, I'd like to help, but I'm a teacher now, so other people can help with the crabs and the turtles.
Did I actually just give you a segue without knowing it?
Yeah, you did. You really did.
Interesting.
Again, thank you, community. And like, I'm going to keep podcasting about WoW, and I'm on fire again. Well, not literally. Hey, no, put the gasoline down. That was figurative. I had a fan coming toward me right now with gasoline.
You're on some kind of list now for Stone.
Got to give you a hug, Stone. Allie, I'm going to give you a hug. And like, Brandon and I are going to give you face palms and stuff like that. So
That's a daily occasion in this household, so that's nothing new.
Okay.
No. I see you plotting, Frazley.
Okay.
No. Or buy me alcohol, and then you may proceed. One of the two. Take your pick.
I'll do that. Hey, if alcohol is the price I got to pay for you to see facepalm in real life,
It might be.
then you know what? Hold me to it. As long as it's not an expensive drink, it's on me.
You clearly have not heard about how the Hilton hikes up their price at the farm.
Shh. Don't tell him. Shh.
Wait a second. Did I continue to say that? No, I owe him a beer. No, or wait, he owes me. Anyway, I'm tongue-tied right now. But I think being tongue-tied is a good time to talk about the fact that as we get into BlizzCon, there's a lot of kind of small little bit of news here and there. So Wowhead and Icy Veins have 2 stories. So Wowhead's story is that they have found Allied Race Death Knight textures and encrypted Lich King voices in the data for 8.3. Pete just bought the Warcraft III Reforged edition, and he said that the meat critter, it actually talks about the Lich King in the thing for that pre-order.
Well, I mean, there is still a Lich King.
Yes.
We briefly saw a little bit of him in Legion. If you were playing a Death Knight, the Lich King kind of used his, magic hokey pokey powers to be like, yo, bad shit's happening, go help.
Hokey pokey power.
So now, with Sylvanas peacing out from the Horde, and I'm hoping with my heart of heart the majority of the Forsaken follow her, how do you stop what can't be killed? Because she still can make people rise up with the Valkyr, the few that she has left. So if you're going to fight an enemy that can bring the dead back to life, who probably would be somebody you'd want on your side? Somebody that can bring the dead back to life.
Yeah.
It's Wrath of Lich King 2, Frozen Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, if you're going to bring back one of the most popular times in WoW's history.
Or maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe Sylvanas is going to go challenge the throne and try and take over what's left of the Scourge up in Northrend that he's been holding in
There's some
check.
people calling
I
for
could
Lich
see
King.
that. And, that would also be a good place to put in a lot of Game of Thrones references. Oh, there's going to be a Starbucks cup during the end cinematic of that.
They would do it too.
Yes,
They
they would.
would.
I can see it.
Stone says that's 100% going to happen. For once, Stone, we're on the same wavelength here.
Wow.
Wow.
That's rare.
And then Icy Vein said that they've seen new Death Knight swords added in 8.3, which, I mean, makes sense to go along with the new allied races. Wait, so we're going to have Dark Iron Dwarves and Mechagnomes. Can Mechagnomes be... Oh, no, Mechagnomes have a soul, I think.
Do they, though? Do they?
Maybe Sylvanas finally figured out how to make her own Death Knights.
Ooh.
She's not dumb. Beautifully and wonderfully evil, yes, but not dumb.
She's plotting something. I think that's something we can all agree on. Like, she's plotting something, and we just don't see
She's been plotting
what that is yet.
for decades.
Yes, like, this is definitely a marathon for her. Like, we're on the cusp of seeing what is at the end of that marathon for her.
Yep.
And, I mean, I could see her becoming the scourge of everybody.
Yeah. It seems to be the natural progression. And, of course, again, there's going to be people, like, wanting to get their digital pitchforks and torches and storm, Blizz's Twitter screaming about how they're not being fair to Sylvanas and they need to just go eat a cookie and go to bed.
Hey, I like cookies.
Cookies are good.
Yeah.
Not what I was thinking, but I'm trying to maintain somewhat of a little bit of a decorum here, Fraz.
Absolutely.
Out of the three of us, I think Xortz is the one that's being the most professional.
Well, because it's Fraz's show, and I try to play by other people's rules when I'm in their house.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Now, if it was like you, me, Allie, and Belle, all gloves are off because
Oh my gosh, that'd
Belle
be
has no
amazing.
filter, and I love every minute of it.
Okay, write down for the short list.
He's like, okay, we're gonna have Allie and Belle as.
Frazley, I'm really good at keeping it clean when I need to. I do it for work all day. I do it for my show. I do it for all things Azeroth. But when I am given the ability to not have to keep it clean, all bets are off.
Look, maybe I should just go back into podcasting and just make something called That Fucking Blizzard Show.
Hey, that would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool.
Sign me up. Totally.
The good news is, going forward, Blizzard has said it's still going to be a PC developer first, according to PC Gamer, which PC Gamer would definitely be the authority on PC gaming. A couple quotes from this one is Jay Brack said that Blizzard was poor at communicating its approach to the different platforms. Brack wanted to say that Blizzard believes it can make mobile games without sacrificing the quality that it's known for, and that they said that they want to have Blizzard values around monetization. So that gives me hope.
Yeah, Blizzard values. Yeah, we've seen how well that's worked out lately. And that's all I'm saying about that.
That's a different story.
Yes.
Monetization. No, it's not. Money's involved. That's the bottom line.
And it is interesting with that. Alessandro brought forth the thing that Blizzard's looking for a senior game developer for Diablo Immortal. It makes you wonder if different things have been happening, because Android Headlines looks that they said that the positions may have been old, but they were recently retweeted on a few different accounts. There's definitely been a shakeup at Diablo Immortal, and maybe the community's outcry against that made Blizzard say, we don't want to mess this up, otherwise we're screwed.
It does make me, because I feel like this is technically, from a very outsider perspective, late in the game move to be looking for a senior game producer.
Yeah.
And it does make me wonder. Originally, I did think that we would get a release date of Diablo Immortal at BlizzCon this year, but now I'm questioning that. And you're right. I think there was some kind of shakeup or something, maybe.
Well, because there was apparently in another article, Tencent released a version that was a clone of Diablo Immortal, and people hated it. So I think Blizzard's like, we don't want to do this. We want to do something good. And plus, I think with the backlash people are getting, they've got to do a good Diablo game.
Yeah, the Diablo crowd is not happy right now. They haven't been since Immortal was released, because they were expecting an actual Diablo game, not mobile. But, I mean, for Blizz to move into mobile, it's not a stupid move. It's a very smart move. Mobile games are insanely popular, especially in foreign markets. They would just be leaving money on the table if they didn't do it. but they certainly should have probably been a little more forthcoming with what type of game Diablo Immortal was before the announcement.
Yeah, when they announced Destiny 2 being free, that was in 2017, and they did that before the thing. I could have seen Diablo Immortal being just a small announcement. It did not need a place in the keynote. It could have even been in the Diablo 4 What's Next, saying, hey, we have Diablo, we're working on it, and by the way, until we get it out, here's a game. I think we would both agree, Allie, that the Diablo Immortal keynote, because we were watching that with Dawnforge last year, and it looked rushed.
Yeah. Like, I am thoroughly convinced that they were going to announce Diablo 4, and then last month they realized they weren't quite ready. And what Stone is saying in chat is that some kind of 20-second gameplay teaser or something, that's what they probably should have done last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if last minute they decided they were going to change up how they were doing Diablo 4 or what, but because of how awkward and rushed and how not like Blizz that all was last year, it does make me think that was planned. Last minute it was pulled, but we're going to get it this year and it's going to be polished. At least some kind of trailer. We may not get playable, we may not get a release date, but we'll get some kind of trailer and it will be polished and well-defined and ready to go. And Blizzard, because Blizzard is the type that they won't announce it or talk about it if they're not ready.
Yeah.
Because they've had plenty of other games that they've had to pull last minute, like Ghost, for example. So we'll see.
And someone's asking if they'll have a ton more ready this year for Diablo 4. And I think they're going to at least have something. I mean, Spaz and I have talked on the E3 special and even the episode he was on that with Elder Scrolls, that Bethesda, who did Fallout 76, the crapshoot that was, they did a better announcement for Elder Scrolls 6 than Blizzard has done for Diablo 4.
That would have been perfect. I think that would have appeased everyone, and people wouldn't have been so up in arms about Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, because like right now, we've been hearing hearsay about Diablo 4. Just say, it's out there. It's right there.
I feel like they need to make an announcement on the Diablo franchise one way or the other. Is there going to be a Diablo 4 or not?
Oh, yeah, they have to.
They have to do something.
Yep.
I would like to see a trailer hit this BlizzCon.
They were smart.
I'm not much of a Diablo player. I dabble in it here and there when I feel the mood, but, you know, it's a fun little game, but there are people that, like, we're very passionate about WoW. Finger quotes on that around me. So, but for the most of us, or some people are very passionate about Hearthstone. Some people are still passionate about StarCraft II. People are passionate about Heroes of the Storm. Diablo just does not seem to have gotten any love over the last couple of years, and I think the Diablo crowd is about ready to riot. I
could think somebody, like I know Michael would be asking about StarCraft, and I was listening to Realm Maintenance with TavernCast, and they brought up a good point that StarCraft's anniversary is not here yet. So I think that StarCraft, its time is going to come soon. But I think, it's time for Diablo. And again, with Immortal, there's concern about monetization. And Alessandra brought up a post from The Drum. Now, this is Activision Blizzard as a whole. They're talking about how they're planning to optimize ads in mobile gaming, bring up brand awareness, and like even the picture that pops up when I go to the article, it says, hey, this loot box is brought to you by brand. This loot box is brought to you by this brand. Here's your Casper mattress Symmetra skin.
Hey, I like my Casper mattress, man. Don't diss it.
I mean, I think that was one of the first podcast ads I ever bought from was a Casper mattress. And so if anybody's ever buying Casper mattress, they're not a sponsor of this, but I do have a referral link. If anybody wants a Casper mattress, just DM me. But there is one thing about Casper mattresses, open it where you're going to put it. I have a twin size loft bed. I opened it on the floor. Getting that thing up there. Oh, that was hard. That was very hard.
That's what she said.
Jen of More Than Great Podcast has a mug that says, that's what, in quotation marks, then she. And you know, that fits with the 2019 thing that's going on YouTube. You know, the quotes and then the thing on the bottom. Oh, no. Felicia's going to say that I'm now a local. They're saying that there are people that try to be hip, but they're not hip. But yeah, so there's a lot of questions about how people are going to be monetizing things.
Now, you see, this is where I'm kind of because Activision, you know, they're slowly approaching EA levels of bullshit monetization.
That's
how long until they start, you know, being the technical overlords of Blizzard, start pushing more and more in that down onto Blizz, and how much pushback is Blizz going to be able to give, saying no before Activision just says no, you're doing this. Period. The end.
And I think that is a very valid question. I used to love BioWare games. I don't love the current crop of BioWare games.
No, because you got EA pulling the puppet strings, so.
Yeah. Like, one of my favorite games of BioWare still is Knights of the Old Republic 1. That was amazing. And I need to play that again and be evil on the second playthrough. I always felt bad being the evil person, but I got to do it now on stream.
I dabble in Star Wars The Old Republic MMO here and there, and, I follow them on Twitter. And it's like 90% of the time their tweets aren't about new content. It's about new armor, new skins in the cartel market. Yay.
Maybe they need to go back to some old games and look at it.
No, there's no money in it. They're large, publicly traded companies now. They're beholden to their stockholders first, their customers second.
That was a transition.
And I spoiled it.
I noticed.
And I don't care.
I hope you know, over the life of this show, you both have been there for me. And
why did it take you so long to get us together, Fraz?
I mean, I've got a short list. It's not short.
Let's see. I used to work nights. Then I schedule changed.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's taken a long time, the same way that it's taken a long time for Warcraft 3 Reforged to come out. But Wowhead says that a Warcraft 3 Reforged beta option has been added to the launcher.
Now, I'm interested to see how this comes out when it finally does hit. I love the old RTS games, and I really hope they do a remaster, reforge, whatever they want to call it, of Warcraft 1 and 2, because those were my two favorite games of all time. Period. The end. If you don't like them, you're wrong. Get out of here. Get out of life. So it's interesting to see how Warcraft 3 Reforged comes out, because I think if that works, we might be able to get the other two.
Probably.
Yeah, they are on GOG right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's because they didn't know if they wanted to put the money into that. Because there's a lot of lore and history in those.
Yeah, so much lore.
Literally, Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2 are the first and second war.
Yep.
I just love building a huge, giant army of orcs, pillaging and burning everything in my path like orcs should be.
And I just like going through the game and click on the peons. And this is where, when I get Thunk back on.
Orc me doing?
Yeah, like that.
Not that kind of orc.
Wait, that's why we don't see you on screenshot. You're actually Thunk.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You had me and Thunk on the same show, remember?
That's right. Oh, see, short memory.
That was a really fun show, too.
And now that Squadcast will hopefully soon be working an iPad, we can bring it back because he does a lot of his work in a vocal booth with an iPad. So, write down Allie, Thunk, and Xortz.
Yes. Oh my God, I would love that. Please make it happen.
Yep, it will happen. I don't know when, but it will happen. It's on the list.
So it's 2019 now. I figure by 2027 we should be able to start laying down the groundwork to get this together.
His schedule is probably out to the next summer now.
Yeah,
From all my conversations with him, that's what I've gathered.
I'm waiting on E3 because then once it's E3, I know when to put the Spaz and Eric Gouder episode. And then after that will be time for until BlizzCon. So, I mean, Allie, you pay attention. I like that.
I will say I do really like the data mine images coming out of Warcraft 3 Reforged with the updated models for different NPCs and stuff. It's looking really good. I'm excited.
Good. It's going to be looking good, that's for sure. We'll see if it plays well, because reforges, remasters, sometimes they screw something up. We'll see. It'll be another one of those nice little trips down memory road.
I do like what Dead Myria says, that they wish that they could play a game that is not beholden to a company. And I said, that's why I love indie games.
Indie games are pretty good. There's a lot of really good indie games out there. If you have Steam, you can find probably something out there that catches your tat.
Wildhead reports that the client's now on as well, so the client's on the CDN. So we really could see by a beta toward BlizzCon, like Wildhead's saying, or even an announcement. I mean, that'd be interesting. A Diablo Immortal and Warcraft 3 saying, boom, out today. Warcraft 3. I wonder if would RTS work in the Olympics? Because Alessandra brings up a cool point from Kotaku, that video games have gotten one step closer to being in the Olympics. I am championing for this, the same way that I'm championing for ballroom dancing to be in the Olympics, and it's getting close, but I keep wanting esports to be there, because I hate when people say it's not a sport. So Kotaku has said that they saw a report by the Esports Observer that there'll be the Intel World Open, and it's going to have competitions for Street Fighter V and Rocket League. And there is a $250,000 prize pool for each game.
Street Fighter's competitive scene is huge. The EVO convention that they have in Las Vegas every year, it's just one giant competitive fighting game tournament. It's got Smash Brothers, it's got Street Fighter, it's got Mortal Kombat, it's got Street Fighter, not surprised about. Rocket League, I'm not surprised about either. Not my particular cup of tea as terms of a game, but it's definitely found its audience, and it's definitely got a great competitive scene going forward as well.
And I mean,
For sure.
who doesn't love cars smashing into things, trying to get balls into hoops and stuff like that?
There's a metaphor in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yep. Smashing balls with cars.
Yeah. So, I mean... But, if you look at it, there's a competitive league for raids in WoW now. I'm not sure how that works, but just if there's a game out there like Total War Warhammer has a competitive league, I'm pretty sure there's a House Flipper competitive league.
Because there was Trading Spaces and the Tear Down My House show with the Move That Bus! But the competition was to get it on before the family came back from vacation. Yeah. And then all those houses, a lot of them went into foreclosure. Anyway, yeah. So before we go, our good friend Alessander brought up a question, actually quite a few questions, but they all are the same. And I think this might spark some more BlizzCon speculation. So Alessander was saying, what Warcraft game would we want? They brought up points like Half Hill Crossing Farming Simulator. I love Farming Simulator, and I think Tosh Buffoon and Professor Talib would love Farming Simulator, especially with Half Hill.
So what would it be, like Stardew Valley in Pandaria?
Oh, yes! Because I've been loving Stardew Valley a lot recently.
I told you!
You were right!
I told you! No, nobody listens to the sock puppet.
I do! I listen! That's why you're back here. You've been on so many times because I listened to you. And the listeners who listen to the show listen to you because they listen to the episode. So they're listening to you through osmosis. And then Pet Battle Go. Pet Battle Go, which I think would be fun, like Pokemon Go. And then some kind of dungeon dive endless gear hunt experience. RPG, PvP, Rathion Simulator. Oh, Rathion Dating Simulator.
What?
No, not a dating simulator, you doorknob.
Oh, the wrong simulator. Sending adventurers out on missions. Okay.
They could do like a date simulator where you date various notable NPCs from the Warcraft world. Like you could take Sylvanas out to dinner. You could take Jaina to a movie. You could take Sarfang to the park. Stone would be all over it.
I'm sure he would be. Zug.
Then we really could find out, is that type of orc?
Date that homeless guy in Stromwind.
See? Deadmeyer gets it.
Yes! Everybody in Azeroth is looking for love. And I also like Gnomeregan Trail. I'm going to kind of go back to history. Everybody.
Okay, yeah, that...
Wait, you like Gnomeregan Trail?
Gnomeregan Trail. You die of dysentery in Dunmoreau.
Yeah. You always get there, and you're just short of getting to the end of it.
You know, you break a leg in the Blasted Lands. You're done.
Oh, those Trogs took you out.
What's that? You tried to forge that river in between Elwyn Forest and Darkshire? Oh, you lost your wagon. Even though there was a perfectly good bridge 3 feet that way. I'm behind this idea. I am.
Yeah, me too. I like it. Bring up more gnome lore. I think it could be some blazing some good trails. And then Sandra brings up a Battleground clone. Now, do they mean Battleground like Battlefront or like the PvPs, or do they mean like a Battle Royale?
That's an interesting question. I mean, you do have airships in Warcraft, so you could parachute into a place.
Ooh.
I mean, is this like a Battle Royale clone or like the Star Wars Battlefront game? We need clarification on this, Alessander.
The only issue is I could then see them doing V-Bucks, and with how much my nephew's been spending on V-Bucks in Fortnite.
Well, your first mistake was letting your nephew play Fortnite.
Hey, he'll finally be able to play Overwatch. He just told me today that he's
you know what? I tried Fortnite and I was like, nope, this game is bad. This game is a money grab.
Oh, totally.
Although I will say they somehow managed to convince thousands of people to stare at a dot in their screen for like 2 days straight.
Yes, that was insane. I was just like, wow. And I mean, that was a pretty risky move, ending it all and then bringing it back. I mean, which
I'll give them credit. That took balls.
Yeah.
And the fact that even like the people that are like the biggest content creators for them that are usually in the know on stuff like that were completely kept in the dark about it.
It was an epic strategy.
And the videos of little kids crying because they couldn't play Fortnite just gave me life.
Do their tears fuel you?
They do. I like to catch them in a cup and drink it like sweet nectar.
I can see you doing that too.
Me too. I can see you being like Mike Myers. I am Captain Xortz.
Just kind of swirling it as if it was a fine wine.
Exactly.
Kicking back in the chair.
Ah, yes, the 9-year-old vintage. Delicious.
Oh, I'm getting chills. It's terrifying.
Oh, dear Lord. So what would Bard Saber be?
Like Beat Saber, the VR game.
Yes.
Oh.
Although I think
a
Bard Guitar Hero would probably work better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd play
where you have like the peripheral to use. You know, you just USB plug it in and just be like... Doop, 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 doop.
Yeah.
You know my name, Cartman. I'm Beefcake. Beefcake. My chicken pat pie, kitty.
I did play Guitar Hero on the DS. It had the little hand thing with the cramp, and that was actually pretty fun. I was never good at it. The same way I'm not good at Twitch Sings, but it was a lot of fun. Music is just not my strong point, but I would definitely be all for this. It'd have to be an all WoW song.
Yeah, obviously, you know, like
Totally.
the Lionhead Tavern theme or
Grizzly Hill.
Oh.
the Booty Bay music. Any Goblin music, really, because Goblin music is best music, and I will fight anyone that says otherwise.
Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut on Nomergon music.
That place doesn't exist.
Wait, you
it's a
like
myth.
Nomergon music?
You never would have guessed, Ellie, right?
I am Murloc.
I am Murloc.
Sniper Frog
Yes.
is... Yes, I am Murloc, obviously, for the end game content. Rogues do it from behind. You have to do all the Elite Tauren Chief. They need to bring those guys back, too. We need new songs from those guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, Mike's retired now. I mean, it could be time.
Let's do it. Let's get some Elite Tauren Chieftain action going. I don't even know what freaking level they'd be at now.
You know, if they do the squish, though, then they would be at level 60.
Maybe. So, Bard Saber Street Fighter type brawl. You know, I would actually love to see, like, a WoW brawler.
Yeah.
Like a legit Street Fighter kind of.
I would think of more of, like, what's that freaking game? Soul Calibur style where they got the weapons.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. I would actually love Blizzard again if they did this for me. Please.
Okay, I got the perfect idea.
Tricky treat. Okay. Tellenroid.
Ellenroid.
No. Get out of chat. Get out of here.
So
Get out of here
Tellenroid in
with
chat
that
is saying
garbage.
Tricky Treat Crush Saga.
No.
Oh.
No.
And what about Gnome Crossy Road? We're trying to cross the road.
You could have a version of, like, remember that old game Frogger where you had to cross the road, but it could be Murloc?
Ooh.
Oh.
That would be so cool.
But I'm putting a kibosh on something. There will be no turtles getting to the damn water. That forced meme needs to die.
A turtle made it to the
Yeah,
water.
I mean, sorry, the Psycho Life can be so cruel.
That and Pepe. Just get rid of them.
But I like that bird. So where I could see this going, especially talking about mobile, because we just got Mario Kart Tour on iOS and Android. What if they come out with a Super Smash Brothers and Blizzard signs on to be one of the licensed characters for Super Smash Brothers on the go?
See, I don't see that. Activision and Nintendo would never come to terms on that one, I think.
I mean, there is stuff for Diablo on Switch.
Yeah. I mean, but that's an entire game that they're bringing in.
That's true.
Particular characters. You know, that's kind of tricky. Would it be cool to see? Yes. Do I think it's ever going to happen? I'm going to say no with a small chance of maybe.
So with all these mobile things, Alessander also is asking, how much do you want the mobile game to tie into the PC game?
None. Keep it separate. I do not like having crap tied in like that because then it's like a requirement to have both. And if I'm not interested in the mobile game, I want it to have nothing to do with my PC experience.
I could see that because like there have been some games that have done a mobile thing, then the mobile servers die or something like that, and then you don't have that stuff on the mobile tie-in anymore.
I mostly agree. The only way I can see that happening would be if they did some kind of pet battle game.
Yes.
If it tied into the main, WoW retail or whatever, it wouldn't impact it too badly. It's just pets.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that in a world. And so many people are calling for some kind of pet,
Okay, that
mobile
that
game.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that would work. And I think it would be smart of them.
Because the pet battles don't affect the main game itself. It
Oh,
doesn't
no.
affect the
Exactly.
storyline, doesn't affect the questing experience. It's this nice little side distraction that even I've dabbled in from time to time.
It does affect it in one way, selling those level 25 pets on the auction house.
Okay, yeah, but that doesn't affect the gameplay.
That's true.
But if it's something that's going to affect my gameplay on PC in some way, shape, or form, I am completely 100% totally against it, and I will die on this hill.
Even if it's cosmetic?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep crap like that separate. And yes, I will fight anyone on that.
They were saying, like, if you earn gold, is it WoW gold or mobile gold only? And I think if you earn gold in the game, it should be mobile gold only. I could see making gear on your trade professions in WoW, sending it to your mobile characters, but not back.
Yeah, maybe not back. Because to go back into WoW itself, that would be bad.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the people who either have phones that can't handle it, or you have people like me, for example, who technically shouldn't have their phone out during work, or they could potentially get
Or
fired.
you have, like, the people that do those mobile phone survey things where all they gotta do is just keep the phone going, and they'll have, like, a bank of cheap ones sitting in their house, and they'll walk by and, just hit the screen every now and then to keep it going. You'll have somebody farming up gold like that.
We don't want that.
No.
No.
I'm liking Classic where they have a lot of the gold farming protections in there, and I'm liking that.
I'm still waiting for my first whisper from BlizzCast Serve telling me my account has been in Classic.
I haven't gotten it yet.
No, but I want the authentic Classic experience, and I haven't gotten it yet.
So you need to give me your information, and I will make that happen for you.
Oh.
Just for you, Xortz.
I don't know.
Well, I think BlizzCon's going to be interesting and to see where all this stuff goes. It's going to be kind of a fun time. And I think a lot of eyes will be on BlizzCon.
Oh my gosh, so many eyes.
Even all the eyes
For so many reasons.
for all the N'Zoth loyalists too. We have 3 eyes now.
Get it.
Yeah, we do.
Crap. Get off the stage.
Well, thank you both for joining me on FrazlCast. I cannot believe it's already the end of the show. I mean, that was a blast. And I need to ask you, before we go, where can we find you on the interwebs? So I started with Allie the first time, so I'm going to start with Xortz this time.
Well, you can find me hanging out in the WoW Challenges Discord, where I will not be answering any questions. I'm just there to ban people when they get out of line. I make no apologies for it. You can also find me on the Twitter at Xortz the Goblin, XORTZTHEGOBLIN, all lowercase, all one word, and on my Twitch stream of the same name, where I'm currently playing Bully, the Scholarship Edition, and being a little delinquent.
You a delinquent? Super surprising.
Probably gonna start trying to stream some stuff from the PS4, Red Dead Redemption 2. I also got a free copy of The Last of Us, so
Nice.
I'm usually just hanging out somewhere, causing trouble.
And Allie, you never cause trouble. You're just a little innocent.
I am sweet and innocent.
Yes.
She is. I'll fight anybody that says otherwise.
So where can we find you, Allie?
You can find me on Twitter at AliandersK, or my show Dungeon Fables at Dungeon Fables, or dungeonfables.com, or wherever you find your podcast, you'll probably find it there. And you can also hear me every single week on All Things Azeroth. And Blizzmates, when it happens, it's very much not scheduled. So when it happens, it happens.
And I can't wait to see the next one because I've enjoyed the Blizzmates episodes. And the 3 of you, it's an amazing chemistry.
I'm hoping we kind of get it a little more off the ground because that chemistry is definitely there and it's a lot of fun. Oh, and Stone's pointing out that I might be involved in a super secret thing coming out in the future, aka beginning of next year-ish.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
really?
No
love
quotes
this.
there, just future.
Uh-huh.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
I've not been given permission. No quotes. I've not been given permission to talk about it
Mystery.
yet.
You can see me. I'm doing
There are
all
things.
these
There are
finger
things being
things
plotted and planned.
Stuff and secrets. You can't see it, but I'm doing finger quotes for everything here.
Dude, I would have told you already. You know the next thing I've guested on that no one else here knows except for me and my husband. So, you know I tell you things. If I was working for Blizzard, would I tell you that?
Yeah, I think you would, and I would be like, oh, me too, kitty.
All right. Keep your secrets, you dweeb. I'll find out soon enough.
Yes, you will.
Activating customized orchestrated transporter.
Ooh, look at all these cool decorations. Hollow's End has returned again. So I'm back in my home of Ironforge until we one day reclaim Gnomergon.
I'm a gnome.
Let's look at what has been happening in the community.
Awesome idea. Let's do that. So the Gnome Run just happened, and I wasn't able to get this following into the show in time, but they will also be holding a classic run for the weekend this episode is being edited. So I'm breaking the immersion, but I'm recording this episode on Thursday, October 17th. As of recording this part of the episode, they've surpassed $4,500 towards the Pink Fund. So thank you, community, for an outpouring of support. You show people that gamers care. They're still taking donations, and I've got a link in the show notes to the donation page. So like I said earlier, I will be able to attend BlizzCon thanks to the generosity of the community. So here are a few parties to make notice of. So I sadly won't be able to make it to DitchCon due to my travel scheduling, but I'll be at Con Before the Storm. But speaking of DitchCon and Con Before the Storm, I want to make sure that you know that DitchCon is on Wednesday, October 30th from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's free, registration is required on their site. Come dressed as a villain and prepare for a fun time. There'll be drinking, mingling, and DJ Grange, along with swag giveaways and a Michael Jackson dance-off. Con Before the Storm is Thursday, October 31st from 5 p.m. to midnight, powered by Wowhead. It's free, no registration is required. You get to meet guest personalities, podcasters, streamers, pro teams, artists, and people from your favorite fan sites. The meet and greet schedule just got posted, and Sarafest says that more will be coming soon, so keep watching the website. There'll also be a fan art gallery, a photo booth, World of Podcasts, and more. And speaking of World of Podcasts, Pod Before the Con is October 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I've been asked to be a moderator, so it'll be like a FrazlCast, except you won't hear my feedback back to guests like you hear on the show, but I think it'll still be a gnome-tastic good time. The panelists are Ali of Dungeon Fables, Berserker of Unshackled Fury, Katie of Tarn and the Goblin, Garrissar of Technically PvP, Frosty of the Worgentow, who just had their kid. Happy birthday! No, it's not your birthday yet. Happy Been Through the World Day! And Tosh Mifune, I keep forgetting how to say that one, of the Halfway Report. Hey Tosh, can you tell me if I've been saying your name wrong the whole time? I'm sorry. So check the Con Before the Storm site for details. We've been given permission to also release the Pod Before the Con panel on the FrazlCast feed after the show. So there will be 2 episodes released next week. Episode 130 with Pat and Tist for our pre-BlizzCon show, and the Pod Before the Con panel. There's also a World of Podcast feed for all the panels that are there at Con Before the Storm. And Dungeon Fables for Azeroth, Merely a Setback, and Morally Engraved Podcast are planning a BlizzCon meetup called the Council of Beersfall. It'll be in the Anaheim Hilton on Thursday, October 31st. And according to Ali, it'll be about 10 p.m.-ish. I will see you there!
This is one of Frazley's editing gnomes. We typically are not allowed to talk here, but we found out about a party that has come up late breaking into the news. So the Blizznerds community is having a party on Friday, November 1st from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Now, the tickets are no longer free, and they're almost sold out. But it'll be in the Anaheim Pacific Sea Ballroom, and it'll be a lot of fun. So Frazley doesn't know if he's going, but definitely check them out. There's a link in the show notes. There'll be music, dancing, tabletop games, pin trading, and of course, a chess game.
And if you can't make it to BlizzCon, I almost couldn't make it to BlizzCon. It really was the generosity of the community. But want to meet up with others for viewing parties? Round reports that Blizzard has teamed up with Meltdown Bars, and they have 20 locations for viewing parties on November 1st. There are details in the link in the show notes, so there'll be trivia, local influencers, and more at each viewing party. And Bane Bloodhoof retweeted a picture by Sternbart on Twitter. They made a realistic scaled map of Azeroth. This thing looks amazing. It's something I could buy in a map shop. They use information from the novels, the Chronicle maps, and in-game text. This thing is awesome! And Wowhead again continues their feature editions, one of the reasons it is my most visited site. They now have a classic attunement tracker. So it uses the Wildwood client to upload your character data. Then you can see where you are on the attunements for Molten Core and all that. Keep rocking it, Wowhead! Well, this has been another episode of FrazlCast. So I kind of like to keep you updated on where I am on different shows, kind of my thought process behind it. Because like I said on the latest Be Great today, we are all a construction project. So I've been aiming to always deliver quality content to you. The Frazz Report has definitely been pivoting over its lifespan. So this past week, I had nothing to report on. I mean, nothing in the sense of the Frazz Report style. I like to add a little bit of comedy and levity to the news. So I made the decision last week to have no report. And just like last episode, there will be episodes where the Frazz Report will be released on that feed, but it won't be added to the end of FrazlCast. And I want to show you the week that there is no report at all, there will still always be a FrazlCast. So the Frazz Report isn't going anywhere. I just want to make sure that I can always deliver high quality content to you. Well, actually, no, I'm a gnome, so that's low quality content. Anyway, I was on the Geek Hearing episode 53 as a guest alongside Tom. We talked with Amanda and Monica about the Blitzchung news. We aimed to bring all the perspectives of the issue to light. I think we did a good job of talking about it. And a shout out to Navax, who tweeted that they enjoyed 128 with my discussion with Ian. In every episode, I like to thank those who have supported me financially. Thank you to all my Twitch subs out there. Thank you to Capo, Chris, Cockspring, Crunk, Cynic Dark, Easy Mac, Jen, Jenden, Karenzi, Chris W, Michael, Navix, Peroy, Resurus, Seek Chat, Sir Onion Knight, Space Budgie, Telleroid, Thorn, Valicia, Watson0715, Winchester, and Xortz. And thank you to Capo and Flaggy Boy for the bits. If you want to support the show like them financially, please go to support.gnomepodcast.com. If you have Twitch Prime through Amazon Prime, you can use your free Twitch Prime subscription on my channel and get access to awesome emotes. All of your support goes to help supporting this labor of love. I thank you very much, and I really do appreciate it. Well, I'm Frazley, and you can find the show at gnomepodcast.com. So until next week, be awesome. You know what? I'm going to go off and get some treats from all the innkeepers around Azeroth. I've got quite a sweet tooth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is FrazlCast After Dark. Tonight, we've discussed ovulation, parental pressure, and undercity sperm donation. Caller, you're on the air.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. Views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended. The Gnome Train Intro is by Allie of Dungeon Fables and All Things Azeroth, and the opening music is by Brandon T. Blaylock.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.
But before we get into that, Epicinsanity. Uh-oh. You know what I forgot to do? The Gnome Train.
How could you forget the Gnome Train?
Wow.
Frazz?
I'm wearing the Gnome Train.
Here I
Literally.
am calling you a
forgot
professional.
The freaking Gnome Train, you doorknob.
He forgot his own train.
You forgot your own trademark bumper?
I know. Okay, here we go.
Good.
Most fail podcast 2019. And I haven't even gotten started yet.